Hello and welcome to the PetXI Virtual Mentor short video on calculating a break-even point. Remember, this video helps you to learn and understand what you will need to complete the portfolio, so it's very important that you pay attention. There will be a short test at the end to make sure that you have watched the video and a small piece of homework for you to complete, ready for the PetXI team's return to your school. You don't need to work out the break-even point for your business, although this is a good thing to do to see whether you're charging enough. You will need to make notes. You can of course pause or rewind the video whilst making notes. I would pause it after every couple of points and make the notes you need to help you later on. In order to achieve a distinction, which is the best grade you can get in this part, you need to provide a comprehensive explanation of the break-even point and identify where it occurs. So what is a break-even point? In simple terms, the break-even point is the point where the business or product expenses are exactly equal to the revenue that they bring in. It is the point where essentially the business or product makes neither profit or loss. Companies will use the break-even point when deciding the cost of a product. They will work out the break-even point first and then add on the profit they want to make. In order for a business to survive, they must make a profit. Therefore, income must be higher than expenditure. For example, if we use our restaurant from the earlier videos as an example, they will need to work out the break-even point on each separate item on the menu. Let's say the restaurant comes up with an item for the menu, steak pie and chips. Firstly, they calculate the cost of the ingredients. For this, let's say they're £3.05. It takes 6 minutes to make in the kitchen, the cost of which is £2.50 in staff and electricity. This means it costs the company £5.55 to produce each plate of steak pie and chips. This does not include all costs in terms of bills, as they are covered through the added profit margin. So the break-even point for this plate of steak pie and chips will be £5.55. The restaurant then needs to decide what to charge based on their expected profit margins. The restaurant decides to add 60% profit on to cover all other expenses. 60% of £5.55 is equal to £3.33. We then add this to the original amount, £5.55, which means the restaurant must sell the steak and chips at a minimum of £8.88 to cover the break-even and include their profit margin. Businesses also calculate their break-even on how many products they need to sell. This restaurant, for example, may need to sell hundreds of steak pie and chips to cover the cost of the rent. Selling a small amount at the right profit won't cover the big bills. Companies will need to assess their fixed costs and their variable costs to ensure an accurate break-even point is achieved. Many businesses go out of business because they don't calculate their break-even point and end up charging less money for their products and services than they should. This is why Ferrari charge more than Ford for their cars. Better components, higher paid and better ability staff, more development and work time means a higher break-even point, which means a larger price once the profit margin has been added on. For your portfolio, you'll be required to produce a report or PowerPoint explaining what a break-even point is and how it's calculated. There are many websites on this and many graphs you can use for your report or PowerPoint presentation. Take the time before you return to class to do your research to make writing your portfolio as easy as possible. Remember, to get a distinction, you need to be comprehensive in your explanation and identify examples of the break-even point and where it occurs. Thank you for taking the time to watch this PetXI Virtual Mentor video on calculating a break-even point. Good luck with your project, and I'll see you in the next video.